Hi. Hopefully this is working. I'm broadcasting with this webinar. If you could just confirm in the group chat that you can hear me okay, that would be brilliant. And while that happens, I'm just going to have a bit of coffee before we get fully started. And I just need to set up a couple of more things quickly. I'm hoping I can be seen. So one thing I will do is just open another window and see if this is working. So can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you see me? It looks like we've got 58 viewers, and let me just see if the chat's working. And if you could type in the chat, that'd be brilliant. Is it working? Hi there. Well, I can type something. If you guys would like to join in the group chat just to confirm that you can see and hear me, we'll get started very shortly. And I'm just going to check a couple of things, like I said, before I get going. So bear with me a minute or two. I'm not so used to Google Hangouts and these webinars, so it will just be a slightly slow start, but then we'll get cracking with some brilliant chess. So, like I say, if you can hear me, I hope you can. Let me make sure I've got the chat on. We need the chat, don't we? Chat seems to be on. Okay, great. Now, one thing I'm just going to do before I get going, I'm just going to open up this window on my own computer just to make sure I can hear myself, if that makes sense. And then we'll get cracking, because it'd be great if someone could confirm that they can hear me. Okay, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask someone if they can hear me all right. Okay, can you check to see who's broadcasting? On my phone. Maybe, yeah, it'll be on YouTube. I'll see if I can do it here as well. Like I say, if you can join in the chat, I'm surprised that no one has said anything in the group chat yet. And as soon as you do that, we'll get going. But we're 2 minutes from start time anyway. So, okay. And, brilliant. Brilliant, here we are. This looks to be better. Audio is perfect. Great. Okay, I've just opened what I've done now. I've just opened what I can see up in a YouTube window. So I'm just going to mute myself over there. Then all good. Good. It's weird because the chat's working on the YouTube, but it's not working where I was looking for some unknown reason. But it's good. We're getting there, and we're going to have a lot of fun in this next hour. And hopefully we are going to teach you something as well, which will be great. Hopefully you will learn something as we go along. And but basically, I'll explain what we're going to do in a second. We'll get going very shortly. Then let me just see if I can chat as well. That'd be great if I could chat. Hi there. Let's see if this is going to work. Brilliant. We're in. Game on. Game on, boys and girls. Right. Well, what we're going to do for the next hour, we are basically, you're going to have a lesson. I'm a Grandmaster Simon Williams. The Ginger GM is my sort of other nickname, should we say. And for the next hour, I'm going to share with you some chess beauty. And, you know, I play chess for a number of reasons. You know, I am a Grandmaster, so I'm quite a strong player. And I want to share with you guys, because obviously you're probably chess lovers as well. If you're not chess lover, you're in the wrong place, I'm afraid. But you can still join in anyway, if you'd like to. And what we're going to do in this next hour, I want to share with you some of the most beautiful chess moves that I've ever seen. Moves that have really made me shiver with delight, which is a little bit of a worry, isn't it, when I say it like that? Shiver with delight, as such. And I want to share with you the beautiful side of chess. Now, of course, this webinar is through the iChess YouTube channel, who sell the Ginger GM DVDs. Obviously, we sell them directly at Ginger GM as well. And for the next 12 or 24 hours, but for a certain time period, one of the reasons I'm doing this free lecture is to encourage you guys to buy something if you so wish, which will help support this, etc., etc. And we're doing a deal, 50% off all Ginger GM products for 12 to 24 hours. So you get quite a good deal there, I reckon. But I would say that because I'm not going to say they're rubbish, am I? I'm not going to say they're rubbish. So what do we try to do at Ginger GM to make things a bit different? Well, one thing we do is I always try to make learning fun. I think that's very important, and I try to make it so you learn something as well, obviously. So it's a link between having fun and also trying to teach you something. So we call it sort of infotainment, I suppose you could say. That's what my cameraman who works at Ginger Gem once told me. I don't know the technical terms. I just know chess terms. So it's infotainment, and that's what I'm gonna. That's what we do with our DVDs. But hopefully what I'm about to dive into will be fun at the same time. Now, the way I want to do this, I'm going to share with you some positions. Hopefully I've got this set up so this will work. You won't be able to see my face when I put the positions on the board. And I'm going to sometimes ask you guys in the chat to see if you can find a move. So I want this to be kind of interactive. I don't just want it to be me lecturing you. I want you guys to also get involved. I see it's actually 60% off at iChess. Okay, fair enough, but we're doing our deal at Ginger GM for longer as well. Okay, so what I want you to do, when I put the positions up, and they are beautiful moves, beautiful games, you guys get involved in the chat, and I can see you all in the chat here. And Chess Psychedelia, hello, I recognize you there, sir. And Kurt Gooding, for example, I can see you all in the chat. So I will be looking at your answers as we go along. Now, the first game I'm going to show you is one of my favorite games from the last year. And we're going to start off with the year 2016, and then we're going to time travel back, because that's what I want to do. I want to go back to the future. And it's one of my favorite players with the black pieces and one of the strongest players in the world with the white pieces. And I apologize if you've seen some of these games before. I promise you wouldn't have seen all of them. So let me now bring up the board and discuss this first game, and hopefully you guys can see what I'm talking about as well. So let's just hope this is working okay. Just give me a second while it loads up on the YouTube thing, and hopefully this is going to work perfectly, and you'll be able to see the board that I am seeing. So can you see the board that I'm seeing? Just give me a second, because obviously as we start, it's going to be a little bit slower than when we get into the swing of things. I just want to confirm everything is going all right. And okay, well, while the board's loading up, and I hope you can see it. Oh, something's happening. There is a bit of delay in the chat. Yay, we can see it. Okay, and I hope you can see it as clearly as possible. I'll make it a bit bigger so we can you can get a nice big fat board there in front of you. Brilliant. Okay, now this is a game between Aronian and Richard Rapport. Now, Aronian is one of the strongest players of, should we say, I'm just making the board as big as I can. Okay, it's 64. Okay, I'm doing my best. Okay, hopefully you can see it as big as possible here, and it'll be all right. If you don't like it, then just tell me, and I'll try to improve things as we go along. But we get the gist. Hopefully you get the gist. Okay, so this was Aronian, one of the strongest players in the world, playing against Richard Rapport. Richard Rapport with the black pieces, one of my favorite players of all time. And Richard Rapport was black here, and he's attacking. Now, what's good about black's position? Well, black has a lot of pieces around the white king. And one little tip I was told, and I think this is a good tip for everyone, is to basically when you're playing chess, if you want to launch a successful attack, then a good tip is to consider in the position how many pieces you have attacking. And a tip I was taught is to launch a successful attack, you generally need 3 pieces attacking. So this is a very, very general tip you guys can take home. And you can see the highlighted pieces there. I will try to make the board a bit bigger for the future ones, by the way, guys. I'll try to make it bigger if I can. I'll see what I can do after this one. But let's do this one to start with. These 3 pieces here are the 3 attacking pieces. You could also say the rook on f8 is attacking, and the bishop here is pointing at the king. So clearly to launch a successful attack in chess, you need to have pieces on the right squares, giving it a bit of damage, And in this position, the game continued. It was white to move, and Aronian now brought his queen over to e2 to help defend the king side a little bit more. So the queen is sort of given a bit of extra protection to these squares. And of course, defending is a real skill in chess as well. And it's something we all need to learn how to do better. Now, after this move, let's have a think. What would you do? How would you increase the pressure on the position? Is there an immediate way to do anything here? Well, in this position, Richard playing the black pieces did not think so. Because he couldn't find an immediate way to attack. Now, if queen, I mean, a lovely idea would be something like, well, it's not a lovely idea, but queen h5 followed by some rook down to h1 is the kind of thing you'd be thinking of here. But clearly this is bad for a couple of reasons. First of all, h1 square is not the square that's the weakest square. And this is another thing you should do when you're playing chess. Try to locate the weakest squares in your opponent's position. h1 is not the weakest square because it's defended by two pieces. There is a weaker square here, and that square is the h2 square, because this square is only defended by one piece, the king. So that is the square we want to come shooting down into and to try to launch some kind of attack. So first of all, what Richard thought, he could not see an immediate win. And I have this rule called crash bang wallop. Now, if you can't see an immediate win, if you can't see the crash bang wallop, and that's something we should all be aware of, especially when we've got a great attacking position like this, we should look at ways to improve our pieces or to kick, I call it a kick move, kick our opponent's pieces back. And the move here, c6, is one of these things. There's no crash bang wallop, so we either want to improve our pieces or do a kick move. Now, c6 is a nice move because we're kicking that rook away, and as Digital Tom 6 says, we are trying to sort out the pin on our knight. Our knight here is pinned down to the ground. So you want to get rid of that pin. And now Aronian has to retreat his rook, and he moved it to a very crafty square. Rook to d4. Now, this looks a bit ridiculous, this square, because the rook is being put under attack from the bishop here. But in this position, if we go bishop takes rook, this would be a mistake. Okay, we win 5 points, but now it's white to move. And after pawn takes bishop here, white has now created what I call a sort of kind of a fork, because he's creating a threat, basically 2 threats in one move. One threat is now the bishop is opened up against the queen. That's number 1 threat. And number 2 threat is the pawn is attacking the knight. So actually in this position, black is in trouble, because you're probably going to have to move your queen here, and then you lose your knight. We don't want that to happen. So now Richard saw that he couldn't take the rook, and white's last move is aiming to get rid of an attacking piece. And the rook on h4 is a very good attacking piece here. So white is aiming to get rid of that piece. So now for something quite brilliant. So I know some of you have got the answer. You can share the answer with everyone else now. It's black to play. And this, to me, was maybe the best move of 2016. This next move was a real humdinger of a move. It was a beautiful, beautiful move, and something which I think is very, very easy to spot. So what did black play here to win? And remember, your moves have got to have an idea. They've got to have a point behind them. And when you're suggesting the moves, this is kind of like a puzzle hour I'm also doing with you, so you guys can test your tactical flair. Try to give me more than one move. So I know a lot of you are suggesting one move here, but try to give me a long sequence as you can. And, well, we've had some suggestions. Now, we see Kurt Gooding suggesting bishop c7. Now, I have to say, Kurt, that is a good move. I like that move because this follows the crash bang wallop rule. And that is, if there's not a crash bang wallop, you bring in your pieces to more dynamic squares. And the bishop here is on a better, clearer diagonal. But in actual fact, there is a crash bang wallop. Wham, bam, thank you very much. And the crash bang wallop move here is a simply stunning move, rook to h1 check. And this is my move of the year, because this seemingly impossible move creates a winning position. Because The rook can be taken not just by one piece, the king, but also by the knight. But the very crafty idea behind this seemingly insane move is to free up the h4 square for the queen. Previously, the h4 square was, well, the rook was on that square, wasn't it? And black has a particular idea in mind with this move. Other moves are weaker. Maybe we'll have a look at other moves a little bit later on. Now, there's a Russian guy here, I can't pronounce Russian names, who was suggesting rook h2, which is also a brilliant move. But rook h1 I like because it's a check. You're throwing that straight in your opponent's stomach, and he's got to do something about it. What can he do? Well, if he plays knight takes h1, now we see one of the points behind black's play. What should black play here? Come on, guys. So after knight takes h1, what is black's best move here? I know there's a little bit of a delay between when I'm talking and when basically when I have to wait a little bit for you guys to catch up because of the delay on YouTube. But there's a brilliant move here. What is black's best move here? Oh, well done, Priyesh Shetty. Brilliant. And well done, Watto Tak, and everyone else in this position who found the move, knight to f3 check. Look at that move. That is a beauty, an absolute beauty, because the pawn on g2 is pinned, so we can't move the pawn. The king is trapped here with that knight, so the king can't move. And the only thing you can do is go queen takes knight. But now we have a winning position with black here because we've won the white queen. So it's clear white can't do that. So in the game, Aronian picked the best try, and that was king takes h1. And now we see the real point behind this beautiful idea, because now black can go bishop takes d4. And the difference between this and the previous example, can you remember when I looked at this a minute ago, is that we don't have a piece on h4. So we've done this line clearing move. So if white plays pawn on e3 takes d4, which is basically the move that was worrying us last time, we now have the h4 square available. So we can go check, and after king g1, we now have to create threats. This is very important in chess. When you're attacking, keep trying to create threats. And the move knight g4 here creates a monstrous threat of queen h2 checkmate. Now, there's only one way to stop this. Only one way to stop this with white. White has got to try to run away with his king. Run, Forrest, run. And he's got to try to play a move like rook e1. But in this position, black has a number of good moves. What would you guys pick here? Black to play, and don't just tell me one move because that's not good enough. You're going to have to tell me as far as you can. Black to play here. What is the best way for black to finish this position off now? What is the best move for black in this position here? And if you hear me slurping, it's not because I'm drunk. It's actually because I have a coffee. So that's why I'm slurping. So black to play here. What would you guys play if you were black? You've got this good attacking position. We need more than one move. Okay, I think Ava Gel has got the right one, the right idea. Now, I have to say, rook takes f2 here is quite tempting. But let's just count things up. After this move, rook takes f2, which is not the correct way to play. White has a couple of options. Now, white can try to go for a perpetual check here by checking you and checking you like here and here. So white can go rook to e8 check, and your back rank is very weak. You have to go king h7, and now you can try to go queen here check. And in actual fact, I think this is only a draw now. So you've thrown away the win in this position. But white can also, I mean, there's a couple of choices. White could also just go queen takes rook here. And the point is, after you win the queen, let's count how many pieces white has for the queen. He has bloody loads of pieces there. He has 3 pieces for the queen. So that is plenty. So a much better way to play this position, and well done if you got this right, is to go queen to h2 check. And when the king moves, we simply play queen takes g3. And again, we see a very powerful use of the pin on the f2 pawn. And we've got our piece back now. There is a deadly, deadly threat here of now playing rook takes f2. This threat is very hard to stop, and this position is winning for black, and you've won your piece back. Okay, so that was the first example I wanted to share with you. And let's just have a look at that one more time. I've got loads to get through. So I'm going to try to go as you know, a bit pacey today with the examples. And so the move we were just looking at there was, let's just do that again. I've just got a message that the internet's gone. Don't tell me that is the case. That would be very silly. No, it hasn't gone. Okay, good. Now, in this position, let's have a look at that again. So the lovely idea here was c6, and then this amazing move. You tell me at the end which is your favorite move. Rook to h1 check. And that is my first example of one of the best moves ever, and certainly one of the best moves of 2016. So I hope you enjoyed that one. We've got another example coming up very shortly. Now, before I come to the next example, I'm just going to see if I can make this board bigger. I know a couple of people are asking about this, so just let me see if I can arrange that. So very quickly, I'm just going to get rid of that. Oh my words, here we go. Bring that across. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm just trying to arrange the board so they're as nice as possible. Okay, well, look, I honestly think that the last board wasn't that tiny. I don't know how to make the board bigger. You're going to have to deal with it. Oh, Control Alt and F. Thank you very much. Control Alt and F. Okay, let's do that. Oh, lovely. Thank you very much, Jonathan Russell. Was it Jonathan Russell who did that? No, thank you very much. And I don't know. Yeah, well, thank you for your help. Okay, so the next example is, in my opinion, the most beautiful finish in a World Championship match for the last game. This last example, which you've probably all seen, but I've got to share it with you again because it was phenomenal, was the way that Magnus Carlsen became world champion this year by defeating Sergei Karyakin. And this was an astonishing finish. And you've probably all seen it, but I've just got to quickly show it to you again. So let me just bring up the board now. And hopefully you've got a nice, big, juicy board now. So let me just see if I can get that across to you. And we can share that, present to everyone. Is that working? I hope that's now working. And you can't get a bigger board than that, can you? Unfortunately, I've given away the answer. So I think all of you are gonna basically know the answer to this anyway, because it's such a famous thing. And well, thank you for asking, Kana, where are my eyebrows? I shaved them off 10 years ago, and I shave them off twice a day just to make sure they never come back. No, ginger people don't actually have eyebrows. I don't know if you've noticed that or not, but it's it's one of those things. Okay, so this is what made Magnus Carlsen world champion. And Rook to h8 was played, and you can see the answer at the bottom, but just enjoy the beauty of this. I'll make sure the answers aren't up there in future. And in this position, well, Black decided to play King h7, and here, a really astonishing move. I mean, imagine this. This is like surely every boy's and girl's dream when they start playing chess. Imagine you're like a 6 or 8 year old boy or girl. You want to become world champion. You dream of becoming chess world champion. And I've dreamed about this when I was younger. And one of the things you dream about is winning the world championships with a beautiful move. And in this position here, Magnus now played the absolutely stunning move. And the thing is here, he could be in a lot of trouble because Black is threatening to checkmate Magnus. So he could lose the world championships here. But instead, he goes Queen to h6 check. A simply brilliant way. And this is a piece of history because it's the best move, in my opinion, the best last move of the world championships. And this was just a simply beautiful move. And it's one of the best moves ever played. It will go down in history as that. And you're sacrificing your queen and what I call an empty square. It's an empty square sacrifice. So normally when you sacrifice in chess, you sacrifice to capture something. Normally when you do that, and we saw in the last game, Richard Rapport did another empty square sacrifice. They're a lot harder than sacrificing your pieces somewhere where there's no pieces to capture. This move is going to distract the Black king to a bad square. Because now if the Black king takes the queen, the h8 square is available. So it's checkmate in one move. Rook to h8 checkmate. So that is one beautiful move there. And if Black takes with the pawn, now Black has opened up, should we say, the 7th rank towards his king. So Rook takes f7 is the way that black would have got checkmated against that move. But a simply astonishing move. I mean, okay, I'm not going to dwell too much on this move because I'm sure most of you have seen this. But what a move to play. I mean, surely we all dream of becoming world champion, you know, with a move like queen to h6 check. I mean, we all have dreams of what we want to do when we're, you know, later on in life. But a move like queen h6 check, I have to say, Magnus must have been peeing his pants at that moment in time with pure joy, pure pee of joy. If that's actually, I don't know, is that a terminology? Who knows? You know what I mean, hopefully. I don't know if I know what I mean. Okay, so let me set up the next one now. And I'm just going to now, how do I get rid of this window I've now made? And how do I do this? Bear with me 1 second. I want to put it on training. And we get the next example up. Okay, here we go. So the next example, and this one is also... how do I get this back now? Control. The board now looks bloody ugly. Okay, we're gonna have to just make it like that. No worries. Okay. Oh, Control Alt and F. Let's see if we can do that. Okay, that's good. Control Alt and F. Thank you very much and for your technical help there. Okay, so the next one is again from the year 2016. Hopefully, we'll go back further as we get along. But this one was, I would say, another example of an empty square sacrifice. So it's another example of sacrificing on a square where there's nothing there. And it was from probably my favorite tournament and the favorite player in the world at the moment, Badar Jabava. And we're now just going to have a look at this. And this was against ex-world champion Ponomaryov, who was FIDE world champion. Okay, maybe not proper world champion. I don't want to be rude, but the FIDE world champions were somewhat weaker than some of the other world champions we've had. So I'm not going to be too rude, but I was, you know, he was still world champion. That's not a bad job, is it? And Jabava is a player from Georgia who got gold medal in the Chess Olympiad for scoring the highest score on board one. And he's one of the most imaginative players in the world. He is simply a brilliant player. And in this position here, he had the white pieces. Now, to be honest, this position doesn't, to me, at the moment, look like there's much going on. Remember what I said before. When you start an attack, you need to have 3 pieces normally attacking. And here, well, the black king looks very safe in this position. It's defended by a lot of pawns. White doesn't really have 3 pieces near the black king. And this next attack just came from nothing. It was simply like something, you know, some kind of magic happened here. You know, an attack from nothing is unbelievable. And how did White do this? And I think this is a great way to show how to generate an attack. Something we all want to do is generate a chess attack. We all want to generate a chess attack. And we all want to be great attacking players. So how did White do this here? Let's have your suggestions. You're White here. What would you do if you were White here? What would you do if you're White? You want to try to start an attack against the black king. Come on, guys. Let's have your suggestions. I'm just going to wait until I hear your suggestions coming in. If you were White here, what would you play? How would you start your attack? And this is really like Houdini magic, what happens now. So come on. What would you play? You're White. How do you get attacking that king? Tell me your moves. Now, we have a suggestion of knight takes e5. Now, that is a mistake because in this position, black doesn't take with a pawn because that would open up your rook, but he does take with a knight and you lose a piece. So that is not the right move. We had another suggestion of, well, rather, I think that's a rather naive suggestion. No offense there. Don't want to be too rude, but I've got to be a little bit rude. Of bishop takes h7 check. Doesn't achieve anything. You just lose a piece. Don't give up your pieces for no reason. We had another suggestion here. A lot of people are kind of liking the move bishop to h6. Now, this move bishop h6 is quite interesting. I'm going to give you credit for pointing this move out because you're trying to do an empty square sacrifice and get your queen in. That's a very interesting idea. So I'm going to give you quite good marks. Quite good marks for getting that one. If I was giving you, if you were an exam, I'd give you like a B- for that move. So you've got a B- off me. That's not too bad. But even stronger, as a couple of people have got the right move is knight to f5. Why is this move even stronger? Because our knight wasn't really doing anything on g3. And we want to bring in our rook nearer to the black king. And just look how the white pieces get nearer and nearer to the black king. First of all, with this move, you open up the rook. And really, black has to take this knight because the knight is too strong. The knight can't sit there. That's too strong. So black has to take this. So, of course, now the whole point of this is we get our piece back where rook takes e7. And maybe in this position, Ponomaryov, who's a very strong player, thought that he was doing well after the move bishop e6. Because the idea behind bishop e6 is to trap the rook on e7. And one of the amazing things about this combination is that white's taken a serious amount of risk with this, because his rook is now trapped. Black may be able to just go queen d8 and capture that rook. It's wandered into no man's land. It's like that crazy berserker which has gone one step too far. So white now has to attack with as much energy as possible. He has to attack with energy. Otherwise, that rook is nothing. And now a lot of people pointing out the right move here. Well done. You're doing well. Another example of an empty square sacrifice. Well done if you found the move. I'm going to have a bit more coffee while I do this. The move now is bishop to h6. Now this works a lot better because unlike the previous time, you have an extra piece attacking the rook here. And this makes a lot of difference. When you're attacking, try to bring all the boys to the party. All the boys to the party. And the rook here is a very good piece. And this crazy move, bishop h6, and this is an example of an empty square sacrifice, is just trying to make a route for the queen to enter into attack. Again, when you're attacking, you obviously need to have your queen near, your queen is the main attacking piece. Try to get your queen near the king. And the threat here, there is a threat as well. The threat is queen to g5, where I'm highlighting. You can see that queen wants to come to g5 and then take on g7 with checkmate. So the next move is forced. Pawn takes h6. And now the whole point of this move, queen to h6. And I just love this bishop h6 move. This is another contender for best move ever, and certainly best move of last year, because by doing this empty square sacrifice, the queen has sneaked its way into the position. You're threatening queen takes knight when you get your pieces back. And it's the king, the black king, is in so much problems here. So what happened now? Well, rook takes c3 happened. Black getting a little bit desperate here, a little bit desperate. Okay, well, Luke Brown's asking what would have happened after bishop h6 if black did not take it. So what if king f8? Good question. So if black had played king f8 here, what would white do? And that's a very good question. The king is trying to run away. You're trying to take the rook here. So let's just have a think. Okay, there's a beautiful combination now. And let me just check. Okay, let's have a think about this position. Maybe king f8 was a better attempt at escape here because the king is trying to get that rook. I think I've seen a beautiful idea. Anyone else see a beautiful idea here? What would you play if you were white here? So let's get the little grey matter ticking over. Get your brains working out. What would you play if you were white here? How would you keep the attack going? Now, remember, if you're not careful, the black king will take the rook and then run away. Run, Forrest, run. So a lot of people are suggesting in this position, bishop takes g7 check. I like that move, but what is the follow-up? So it's either between that move and queen to g5. Now, what I'm thinking here is bishop takes g7 check, okay, because now black is kind of forced to take the rook. Because if black goes king takes bishop, our queen can fly in, queen to g5 check, and when the king moves, the king has to move. Let's say it goes back here. We go queen takes knight, and this is clear. It's clear to see that white's winning here. Quite clear to see. And in this position, black would have to go king takes rook here. And now I think there's a beautiful idea. And the beautiful idea, let me give you a clue, is bishop takes f6 check. And let's now say king takes f6. Can anyone see how white can win this position? And remember, white's a whole rook down, so you better have a bloody good move here. White to play and win. White to play and win. How would you win in this position? And there's a two move. Look for all checks. Remember my rule, crash, bang, wallop. Crash, bang, wallop. Crash bang wallop. How can you crash bang wallop here? Don't just tell me one move. Try to tell me the combination of moves here. And I'm sure Badar Jabava saw this combination when he went for the whole sacrificial line. Okay, well done, Chess Society. Hello, Chess Society. I know you sent me some messages as well. I'm not going to say well done, Pravin, the bloody advertiser. Go home, Pravin. As someone said, we don't want your bloody money. This is a chess channel, not for your advertising. Go at home. Okay, well, there's a beautiful tactic here, and the tactic is always look for the most forcing moves when you're calculating. Queen to h6 is the most forcing move because it's a check. There's only one move here, king to e7, and after king to e7, look for checks, keep looking for checks. There is another check, knight takes d5, and that is what we call a bloody big check. No, not you, Chess Society. Maybe I saw one of your comments on Twitter or something, but yeah, anyway, it might be on YouTube, I'm not sure. But yeah, well, I'm glad you're here. I'm glad everyone's here. We're having a chess party for an hour. Woo! And that is a lovely move because black wants to take that knight, and this is something that white must have seen in advance. Now the queen is undefended. We take that queen. We still have a raging attack with a rook coming to the open line. We have the extra queen. Simply amazing combination. Amazing combination. Amazing combination. I think that was, you know, that's the one, Chess Society, I think, something like that. And what an idea that was. I mean, you know, I'm not going to run through it again because there's so much to go through. Let's just see how the game finished. So I want to get to some more examples. So the game finished, queen to h6, rook takes c3, rather desperate move, and now white simply checked the king, took on f6 here, and now, okay, black tried all these desperate tactics, rook takes d3, white simply played rook takes d3, and you know what happened here? Well, black resigned. Black actually resigned here. And I think, okay, let me give you some clues in a minute about how you might be able to, you at home might be able to think in a similar way to this. I'll give you some clues because, you know, it's not easy, is it? And you have to remember this guy with the white pieces is a bit of a bloody genius. He's a bloody genius, you know. But I'll give you some tips for your own play in a second. But let's just work out why, for example, black resigned here. Pug Bluster is asking why pawn takes, not rook takes. Well, I guess he played pawn takes in order to maybe give himself the c file for the rook. I don't think it makes any difference. I'm going to be totally honest. Maybe the point was actually, you know what? I think it was, Plugbuster. If you go rook takes d3, maybe black would have now played knight to c4, and this is quite an important idea because the knight is guarding the queen. But when Badar played pawn takes d3, yeah, I think you've got it. Mahi lo ya. I said that wrong. When you go pawn takes, you control the c4 square. And what can black do here? Black is absolutely helpless here. He's absolutely helpless. Let's say he goes, I don't know, what can he do? Rook c8. Well, what is the easiest way to win this position? What is the easiest way to win the position? Well, Ronnie Asbach, this is not chess musical, but you know what? If you want me to sing you a little song, Ronnie, just say the magic word, and I won't. Okay, white to play and win. Anyway, in this position, if you're white here, let's just see why black resigned. What would white play here? What is the easiest way? Well done, Wolfgang. Well done, Wolfgang. There is, yeah, I think also rook e1 is very strong, but remember my rule, always look for checks and captures. If there's a crash, bang, wallop, play it. So this move here is a check, it is a capture, and it's a bloody good move. Because if the king moves, we can checkmate it with our queen, and if the black bishop takes that, it's the same problem again. That queen is a goner. Say goodbye to your little friend. Okay, so there we go. By the way, this lesson, this whole lecture should go on the iChess YouTube channel another time. I'm just going to now show you another puzzle. And you know, while I'm doing this, I would like to say I have my own YouTube channel, Ginger GM videos. So please, if you're not a subscriber already, go and check out my videos there. There's some stuff there which might help you. But you know, I'm doing this for iChess because they sell the Ginger GM products as well as Ginger GM. And remember, there's loads of money off the Ginger GM shop and here for the videos. So go in there, check out the discounts as you wish. Okay, right. So I'm going to get another puzzle. They're going to keep them coming quick and fast. And let's move on to the next one. And the next one is one of my own. Now, maybe it's a little bit arrogant to say that one of my own moves is potentially the best ever moves of all time, because I don't really believe that. But you know what? As I'm doing the show, I'm going to include one of my own games because it makes me feel good. As simple as that. And this was actually played only a month ago. And this was played a month ago in a Rapid Play Championships in London. By the way, I just put my website details in there. And my YouTube channel, if you just search Ginger GM videos, you'll find it. It's not bloody rocket science. And this one here, I really enjoyed this finish. And it's the first time something quite special happened in this game. And you may have seen this if you watch my videos on YouTube already. But if you haven't, well, let's see if you can solve this one. I was white here. I'm clearly... I've got to show you the board in a minute. I will do. Let me bring it up now, shall we? Should we do that? Should we get the board involved? Do you want to see the board? It's better than seeing my ugly mug, I believe. Let's bring up the board. And here we go. Bring up the board. Bring up the board. There we go. There we go. Okay, and there is the board. And this was taken from one of my own games. And I was white in this game. It's a rapid play game. I was playing an international master. And clearly I'm attacking him because look at my pieces. Again, you can see that I have a lot of pieces hanging around my opponent's position. And what did I say earlier about the magic number of pieces? Are you remembering? Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you in the last one how to develop the skills of attacking. Well, I'll come back to that in a minute after this. Let me tell you what I was thinking here, because that will probably help you, because this was me thinking how I got to the correct, I think, move in this game. Now, what I was thinking here is, well, I've got 3 pieces attacking. Remember, that is kind of the magic number. There you go, Jenny. 3 is the magic number. Okay, that's enough of that. And but I was looking for a way to break through here, and I was using pure calculation. So my first thought in this position was rook to g3. Well, hang on a minute. It's black's move. Black played c5. Now, my first thought here was rook g3, because this move increases the pressure on the bishop. So this is what I'm thinking. It's pure calculation. I'm looking for crash bang wallops. I'm looking for checks. I'm looking for captures. But I'm also looking at ways to create threats. Because, of course, one of the most important things in chess is to create threats. And if your opponent can't deal with the threats, you win the game. It's as simple as that. Now, after rook g3, I didn't play this move because I could not see an answer to bishop takes e5. And my pawn on that square was a very important attacking unit, because my pawn, which black has now captured, was controlling these 2 squares. And you don't want to lose pawns just for the bloody sake of it. So I discounted the natural move, rook g3. And I started thinking for other possibilities. And it suddenly occurred to me that my 3 pieces attacking here was not going to be good enough to force the win. I mean, if I go, for example, queen takes g7 check, again, this is a move you should consider because you have the attacking position. You should look at all checks and captures. But this fails. This actually fails here. And again, this is pure calculation. One of the best ways you can get better at chess is calculating. And again, I talk about this in all the Ginger GM DVDs. So if you buy the Ginger GM DVDs, you will hopefully become a better attacking player. Now, how does black defend here? Well, obviously he takes the queen. And remember, when you play a move like queen g7 in a tournament game, you have to be very sure of yourself, because it doesn't work. You lose the queen and you look like a complete and utter muppet. And no one likes to look like a muppet. Not really, do they? And now, okay, rook g3 check. Black cannot go to the h file with his king. If the king moves to either h6 or h8, we have the rook coming to h1 with checkmate. So you have to go king here. And now bishop here check looks very dangerous for black. But after king to this square, I think black is just running away. He's running away. He's running to the hills. And if you keep trying to check the king, well, there's a lot of options here. Probably just knight to f6. Yes, black gives up a piece, but the king, again, is running. And one thing you have to be very careful about is not doing, not giving up, not shooting your load too quickly. should I say. I don't think that's the best terminology, but you get what I mean. Okay, and now another suggestion here, very interesting suggestion by Chess Society in Florin, is queen takes g7 check, and now bishop to h6 check. That's very interesting. You know what? I didn't actually consider that idea. I didn't actually consider that idea. Have you guys found something completely brilliant? This was kind of, I say what this is, Jenny. This was kind of calculation with instinct. So it's a combination of calculating and it's a combination of instinct. And this idea, bishop h6, I don't know who first came up with this. It's a bloody genius idea. All credit to you guys. And I guess the point here now is if king takes h6, then you have rook g3. And even though you're a whole queen down, there's no way to stop rook h1 checkmate. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. God, you guys are doing well today. That is. I don't think there's any way to stop rook h1 checkmate. Whoever got that, you are literally a genius. You are literally a genius. And yeah, you should put that in your pipe and have a choke on that. Okay, is there any way that black can escape this? Let's just have a look. So after bishop h6 check, you can't take the bishop. What about if I go king h8? Am I going to survive here? Maybe black is surviving after this move. Actually, I don't think so. I don't think is black surviving here? Is black surviving here? Maybe black is surviving here. Maybe black is surviving here. I think so. It's an amazing idea, but maybe after the king retreats into the corner like the little wimp he is, go away, wimpy king, maybe black is surviving here. Is he surviving? How do you win this? Come on, let's have your suggestions. I can't see an absolute clear-cut win here. I have to be honest. I think you have to try rook to g3, do you? Or can you go rook h1 first? Maybe rook h1 is better. I don't know. So I was thinking here, if you go rook g3, the threat is now to move rook h1 and just get the bishop out of the way. But that takes a couple of moves. So can black defend now? I think black might be able to defend with queen takes e5. And the point of this move is the queen can now sacrifice itself for the rook, and then the king can escape this way. So I think, you know, I've been wrong before. This is okay for black. And remember, if this doesn't work, you'll lose horribly. I can't see a way to win this position. If bishop f8 here, queen takes g3 demonstrates my idea. King takes, and now, well, just knight takes here, and you're running out of pieces. I think this is okay. Now, there's a lot of danger here. Let's say black plays knight takes here. Well, is white now winning this position? It kind of seems to me that he should be winning with something. You can even win with a yo-yo technique. Check, king here, bishop takes knight, check, and we take the queen next move. I know this is quite complicated for it's a bloody complicated position, but this is this maybe black is surviving here. Now, also people are saying after bishop h6 check, king h8, white could play rook to h1 first. So let's just see if this is a better winning attempt. This is a better winning attempt, rook h1. But I'm a bit worried here because now, oh, sorry, I made a funny noise there because I saw something. Can't black now go rook g8 check? And now, isn't this just about okay for black? Or is there something beautiful about to happen here? Doesn't this save black? I think this move might save black. I think it saves black. I'm just double calculating some variations in my head, and it looks like it saves black here. Because the point is, if you move your king, I think black can put the rook in the way, and again, he's made a little sort of escape square for his king. The rook comes to g6, and the point of this move, rook g6, which is a very good defensive move, I'm not worried about you taking the rook because I'm already a queen up. I don't care. But next move, my king goes to g8, and it's quite safe. Was there something else here? Well, it's a really weird position. I'm going to go with Chess Brilliancy because he's coming up with some amazing ideas. And Chess Brilliancy is suggesting bishop g5 check, king g7, and now bishop e7. Oh, my words. Stopping the king from coming to f8 and threatening rook h7 checkmate and rook g3 checkmate. Chess Brilliancy. you may well just be a legend. I don't know if this works, but it's beautiful. I think that might work. What an amazing idea. You're a whole queen down, but your rooks are threatening two different types of checkmate. What on earth is going on here, boys and girls? I don't know. An amazing idea. Well, look, all I can say, for those of you who came up with the idea in this position of sacrificing your queen and then going bishop h6 check, I have to give you all credit. You're coming up with some beautiful ideas. Maybe black was surviving there, maybe he wasn't. I'm going to show you how I did it now. I'm going to show you how I did it. Now, what I thought of is I couldn't quite see this being a clear win. So you know what my rule is? Crash bang wallop. If you don't have a crash bang wallop, I couldn't see one. I want to bring more pieces into the attack. So what did I do here? Well, I played rook to h1. And I set up a little trap here. I brought another piece into the attack. There's only one possibility that black can play. Rook takes b2. And now what do I play? Now it should be quite easy. So it's white to play now and white to win. And it's the same tactic as last time, but it's a lot easier because in this position, I have one extra piece attacking. Well, my words are getting all troubled up now. Now, by the way, if you want to see a video on this, I have done one for my YouTube channel, so you can go and check out a video there. You could probably find a thing on other forms of media or whatever, Okay, so what happens here? Well, as a lot of you are saying, we now play queen takes g7 check. This is what happened. King takes, and now well, bishop h6 check. This is going to be leading to a win. Black only has one option, because if he goes king g8, this helps us bring another piece into the attack with check, because now rook g3 check, and it's going to be checkmate next move. King h8, all we have to do is get this bishop out the way. So I actually, from an aesthetic point of view, I quite like the move here, bishop to c1, checkmate, just because you're putting the bishop back on its starting square and giving checkmate, which, is a little bit of beauty there. So if we go back, another thing you guys should do in your calculations when you're defending and attacking, you should use something which is called the process of elimination. So if you're black here, you want to defend in the best way you can. Now, we've already worked out that king g8, it was one of two choices, but that is not the best idea because it allows the white rook to come to g3 with check. And we've worked out it's checkmate with forced lines with only two checks. So if you're black here, you'd have to eliminate king to g8 when you're trying to calculate things. This is a way to improve your calculation. Eliminate that from your calculation and then see if there's any other options. And there is another option, and the other option is king to h8, and this is a much better defensive try. Now, what would you play here? Remember, black is threatening to take the bishop with check. What is the best way to finish this game off, and what move did I play in this position? It's white to play. What move did I go and play and say, put that in your pipe and smoke it? What is the right move here? And remember, calculation is key. Use the process of elimination. Don't rush. White to play and win here. What is the best way to win in this position? What did I play? And well, a lot of you got this right. Wolfgang, Sis Paul, Matteo, you've got the right idea. We don't want to allow the black king to escape. And if we jump the gun and play a move of our bishop, it might escape. For example, if we go bishop f8 check, I don't think you've worked this out well enough, and it is pure calculation. The king goes and runs away, and there's no checkmate here as far as I can see. Where's the checkmate? I don't see a checkmate here. Black on his next move may go queen takes pawn, or he may take the bishop with check. I can't see the win here. I can't see the win. Chess Brilliancy, you are a genius. He's found the right move. The right move was rook g3. And the nice point behind this, and the reason I picked this from some kind of artistic point of view, is this has never happened in one of my games ever before. And I'd love to see, has it happened in any game? I'm sure it has, but I haven't seen it. My opponent now gave me a check. Rook takes c2 check. And you know how I met a check? I met a check with a checkmate. I went bishop d2, checkmate. So I've never done that before myself. I've never met a check with a checkmate. Has that ever happened? I don't know. I'm sure it has. I'd like to see more examples. So that's why I kind of picked this, because it's quite unique in chess to meet a check, rook takes c2 check, with a checkmate. It's quite funny, isn't it? You know, if your opponent says check, you say checkmate. I take your check and I raise you a checkmate, boy. So that's why I picked that game. Another example here, maybe the only other way black could try to defend is with some ridiculous move like rook to b1, and this is just trying to confuse you. You have to come up with the best move. Now it's trying to confuse your rook away from that. What is the best move now? White to playing checkmate in one move. Everyone should be able to see how to get this. Everyone should be able to see how to get this. White to playing checkmate in one move. What is the correct move now? What is the correct move here? White to play and checkmate. Not white to play and checkmate. Okay, yes, the move now is bishop to c1 checkmate, because we're blocking the rook and we move our bishop to my favorite square and we give checkmate. That's fun, isn't it? That's a fun way to finish the game off. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. Okay, right. So that's one of my own games I included there, probably for a bit of vanity. But, you know, if we can't enjoy our own games, then what the hell are we doing playing chess? We should pick another bloody game. So that was one of my own games, but we've still got a bit more to come. And well, you know, I am keeping this. Okay, this is a nice one. We're going to this one. I'm going to try to keep this show just to 1 hour, and I do have to remind everyone that the reason we're doing this is twofold. You know, I'm showing you some nice chess ideas, but there is a massive sale going on with the Ginger GM collection here. You can either go to my website where I get more money for each sale, which is good for me, and gingergm.com. The sale's going to be going on for, should we say, I think, is it 24 hours at gingergm.com? And at gingergm.com, the bundles are is £44 to get over 100 hours of tutorial, me teaching you openings, everything else. So I think it's quite a good deal. I mean, again, go there, check it out. I would also like to say, if you like this, what I'm doing today, tomorrow I'm streaming on my Twitch channel. I'll just put that in the chat if you want to join in there. And that's going to be at, let me just put that in, twitch.tv, gingergm. And if you log into that at 7 p.m. tomorrow, for 2 hours, I'm going to be doing a 2-hour tuition for you. So there's going to be, you know, again, if you want some free lessons, just log in there, and I'll be giving you some free stuff there as well. You know, and the offer will be finishing during that stream I'm doing. Now, okay, let's just come to another puzzle. We've got time for a couple more, I think. I'm going to fit 2 more in of my favorite ever moves of all time, and the most amazing moves of all time, in my opinion. It's quite subjective. And let's just see. It's white to move. In the next example, white to move and to win. That last game, by the way, it was a game of my own from the London Chess Classic. But this game, I will try to find the players after I've shown it. Let's just bring up the board now and see if anyone can do this. It's more of a puzzle. White to play and win. Okay, who's going to get this first? White to play and win. And I like this one. By the way, I haven't included Kana Topalov versus Shirov, because Topalov versus Shirov, I think everyone knows. Everyone knows. So that was, you know, I haven't included that. I've included more rarer ones. Now, again, if you want to buy the whole collection, it's £44, but you get, like, I think over 110 hours of one-on-one professional chess tuition. I think that's quite a good deal. And you know what? You help support me do more things like this. So I will be, you know, possible to next. I like that Kurt saying basically $45 because of Brexit. Yeah, you're actually totally true there. Bloody Brexit. Typical, messing up everything. But I mean, you have to say, I mean, I think the videos are the best in the market. But again, I would say that look at what people are saying about the videos. We try to make them as good as we can. I'm a bit of a perfectionist, and I will stick to that. Okay, well, a lot of you have got the right answer here. And it's a lovely example of a checkmate. And I really like this because it's an example of leaving your queen into a position where it can be taken by 2, not just 1, but 2 different pawns. And this reminds me of, if anyone's heard it before, the golden coin game, of, I think it was Morphy, wasn't it? Was it Morphy who did this? The golden coin game. And the idea in this position is and I might have put this in one of the long streams I did. I'm sorry if you've seen it before. You know, I'm just going for the best moves I can see. So some of you may have seen this, some of you might not. But Queen G6 is a beautiful move. Now, why is this a good move? Because you're trying to go Queen takes H7 checkmate. Who was it? Frank Marshall, not Morphy. Yeah, my apologies. Frank Marshall. Bloody hell. I should know that. Well, Marshall, of course it was, in America. So the threat is Queen takes H7 checkmate. And whatever Black does here, he will get checkmated. Now, let's have a look. Black can take the Queen in two different ways, or he can take the Knight. So let's have a look at these options one by one. And the first move, let's just say he takes the Knight. How can we force checkmate in a couple of moves? Now, it's quite simple. Remember, crash, bang, wallop, always look for the checks, always look for the captures first. And there is a way to do that here. And the way to do it is just by going Queen takes F6 check. Look at the little rook over here. This is called the Rook Swinger. The Rook Swinger. And what you do with that, you swing it over. It's a swinger's party with that. Well, I mean, I shouldn't be saying that. You know what I mean? The rook is swinging into the party. And after king to G8, rook to G3, and it's clear to see that the Black King is in a whole world of pain. As what horror movie was that from? Was that from Hellraiser? Hellraiser, and that's going to be checkmate. So again, what do? We use the process of elimination. And if we go back to your original position, if you're defending here, well, you'd be pretty bloody miserable because there's no way to defend, but you would eliminate pawn takes knight. This is a great way to improve your tactics. And then you'd have to look at the other options. So what else can we eliminate? Well, if H takes G6, what's the checkmate now? What is the checkmate now? What is the checkmate now? White to play and win now. So white to play and win now. If you have a knight G7, people are saying, did I miss something? Did I miss something there? Let's have a look. Rook G3. Rook G3. That may be a better defensive try there, by the way, Mo. Yes, the Rook Swinger again. The rook is swinging to the party. Rook H3 is checkmate. Can you Adam and Eve it? That is English for can you believe it? That you're right there, Florian. That rook is a bloody monster. Just to answer the last thing, if pawn takes knight, pawn takes knight. Where were we? Queen takes, and now if knight G7, this might be the best defensive try. Actually, you are right there. Well spotted. We can go rook G3. And if rook G8 here, well, I think the simplest way to win, it might not be checkmate though, but knight takes F7 does at least force the win of the Black Queen here, because the Black Queen has to give itself up on that square. It is, of course, winning, but it may be I did miss this knight G7 move. So, yeah. So there we go. Well, thank you for buying the bundle, the NP. I hope you enjoyed the bundle. I'll give you a bit more information where you can get more of my stuff later on, you know, like free stuff and things like that. Okay, and now the final thing, what's the hardest way to defend is with pawn, the F pawn takes, because now it looks like the rook cannot join in the attack, but it's white to play and force checkmate in two moves. And this is... again, look for remember the rule, crash bang wallop moves first. It's a crash bang wallop way forwards. Oh, A World of Pain is from the Big Lebowski. That would make sense because I love that film. I love that film. Well, thank you, Blazer, for buying all my DVDs. That's very kind of you, and I'm glad you enjoyed them. That's good to hear. I'm always happy when people say they enjoy the DVDs. Yes, all we have to do now is get rid of the pawn on H7. So we go knight takes G6 check. A beautiful, beautiful finish. Only one move, pawn takes knight, and now Le Swinger. The rook flies over to H3, and again, it gives checkmate. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. Okay. Now, you're, Kurt... yeah, if you give me an email, Kurt. By the way, if you have I mean, in my shop, gingergm.com, of course, I'm doing this for a free lecture, but I'm also trying to sell stuff because that's the way the world works, isn't it, boys and girls? I do make DVDs, and you can buy them from gingergm, .com, and I make DVDs. And if you want to help support me, go and buy a DVD, go and buy a DVD from my shop. And what I mean, you can download them directly to your computer now, so you can have the DVD. They are big files, so it takes a while to download them. Don't get me wrong; you have to have a good internet connection. And yes, I think it's fair if you have brought a DVD from us before, but if you want the bundle, we will give you some kind of refund. Don't worry about that. Just give me an email at simon@gingergm.com. Now, I'm being asked when's my next DVD on the London system coming out. That's going to be coming out, I think, sometime like January or February, something like that. January or February, probably February. It's being made by Chessbase, so I'm not actually in control of that one. And I've finished filming it, but we're just waiting for the edit of that one. And that is going to be a really good DVD, I hope as well. But that's separate because I do DVDs for my own company, gingergm.com, and also for Chessbase. So you can see a lot of that. But mainly, I get more money if you buy from gingergm.com. Yeah. Okay. Now we're going to finish with one last puzzle. And the last puzzle is, you may have seen this before. So I do apologize if you have seen this before. But again, it's all about some of my favorite finishes. And this next one is just damn sexy. It's damn sexy. This is sex on the chessboard, if you excuse my French. And let's see who gets this first. If you have seen the answer before, try not to tell other people. It's from a King's Indian defense, and it's black to play and win, and it's one of my favorite combinations of all time. It involves a queen sacrifice. Who is going to get this first? And this will be the last one of this hour-long lecture. So let's pass you back over now to the chessboard and see who's going to get this. So here we go. And it's black to play and to win. And of course, there's so many beautiful finishes in chess. I can't include them all in a 1 hour show, but hopefully in future, you will. There we go. I don't know what happened there. Hopefully in future, you will have time to look at any other ones. Okay. So and at the end of this one, I'll take any questions. I think that will be a good time to answer questions. Now it's black to play and win, and you've got to tell me the whole combination all the way to checkmate. So all the way. Luke Otter is wondering, is anyone else watching this video naked? Well, thank you very much for that kind comment, Luke. I don't have any trousers on. I never wear trousers if I can help it. But yes. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Most of you got, well, Avyagel Chess Brilliancy, of course, has got it, and the beautiful finish here. And this is a nice one because for some reason I like this one because your knights, your little knights here, they just spring to life, and it's absolutely beautiful how these knights take part in the attack here. And well done, Chess Society. The beautiful finish here. It's from a King's Indian, black to play. Bishop takes g2 check, taking away the defensive structure of the white king. White has to take that one. And now it may look like black's attack is running out, because if knight to g5, well, the king can run away again. But there's an absolutely stunning move here. Queen to h3 check. Another example of an open square sacrifice. Now, if the king goes back to h1, g2 is checkmate. So the king has to move out into the open. But after this square, we now see the power of these knights. And these knights are not doing up much at the moment, but they suddenly spring into life. Knight g5 check. Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah. Orgasm on the board. There's only one move for white here. The white king is in check. It can't come forwards. It has to go back. King g2. And now the other knight joins in. Knight h4 check. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And now the king only has one square to move to. King to h1. And, of course, we finish with a little pawn checkmate. g2 checkmate. And if you did not enjoy that one, you have no soul. You have no soul. You have no soul. That is a chess orgasm on the board. Yes, it is, Coney. That's an orgasm on the board. And I that is certainly an orgasm over the board there. over the board. What amazing finish that was. An amazing finish. And I have to say, that does bring us to the end of this hour-long lecture. So what I'll do now, I will take any questions that you have. I'll try to answer some of the questions you've got. Throw your questions at me. Of course, maybe I'll do this more in future. If I get a chance, it'd be nice to do more of this. Let me just, what's happening here? Is that still going? Yep. And other things I would like to say, well, the offer is on. So remember, you can buy the Ginger GM collection if you like this way of teaching, which hopefully teach you something in a fun way. That's what I try to do. I try to teach you something in a fun way. I would like to have more time to think about the thinking process behind it. I mean, today was really just showing you a bit of beauty. We could discuss more of the thinking process. I mean, okay, quick question, Luke Browns. What is the thinking process I use in a game situation? Well, I mean, to be honest, it's a combination of so many things, chess. I'm a grandmaster. You have to do your hard work. You have to, I'd say, pick 3 openings to learn. So don't pick too many different openings. It's too hard to get these openings correct. Just pick 3 openings, learn them really well, look at the games of top players, try to get a feel for chess. When you get into a position where your pieces are coming nearer to your opponent's king, look for the crash bang wallet rule, see if there's an immediate win. If not, bring in reinforcements or try to kick your opponent back. How to study openings, either by a book or by DVDs. I've always found DVDs a better way to learn openings personally, because I can put them on the TV, I can relax, I don't have to do anything. On the other hand, if I have a book, I've got to open the book. So find out what is best for you guys. Find out what is best for you guys. Okay, now, other questions we have. Let me just see what else you've got. There's a lot of questions, so give me a chance to catch up. What do you think is the importance of bananas? Well, I love bananas. We'll move on that one. Just scrolling down, looking at the questions. Please reply our questions. I'm trying London or Collie system, which is better. You know what? I don't think necessarily, especially at our level and below, even only at the top level, the openings make such an important difference. Just pick an opening you enjoy playing. Simple. One opening's not necessarily better than the other. You just got to know the opening well and enjoy playing it. Simple question there. Simple answer. I like the London better than the Collie, but that's me. The prices shown on the site are discounted prices. I mean, if you go to gingergm.com or if you click below, you get a discount on all the things. Are you going to do changes in chess with Van Sokolov? I'd love to do that in future, Vad. We'll have to see what happens. For someone who is serious about chess and, for example, wants to get a high level chess, what would I recommend? I think you can never go wrong learning tactics and getting your openings up to date and endings. Openings, learn 3 openings, 1 with white, 1 against 1 e4, 1 against 1 d4. If you buy my bundle, you will have that. It will teach you everything you need to know. You'll have a choice there even. Look at some endings, get a good endings thing. Again, my DVDs, Nicholas Pert has done endings ones. You'll get that. And tactics. Very important. Okay, more questions. I don't actually do students at the moment because I'm too busy doing everything else, videos and stuff. I don't have time for students, I'm afraid. So I don't take on students. I put all my effort into videos. I think they're better. To be honest, I think sometimes chess teachers are a rip-off. I'm going to be blatantly honest with you. It's really a game that a lot of GMs play. They charge really high amounts of money. You have to be rich to be able to afford it. On the other hand, I prefer to deliver something like a DVD where you can buy for under £10, which I think will teach you more because you'll get like 7 hours of me talking in that DVD rather than a one-on-one lesson. So I would say it's up to you. If you want to get a coach, do, but I don't think it's the best way to learn. You can learn without a coach. Anders is saying, sorry about my pronunciations. Obviously, the brain's going a bit quick. Have I ever played a musical instrument? That's one thing I really miss. I haven't done. I'd love to have been better with the guitar, but maybe I played a bit of the guitar, but not up to a certain level. I will be playing Bunratty this year, Anna. Yes, hopefully see you there. I'll be certainly having some beers in Bunratty in Ireland. How to learn the middle game. By understanding the opening, I think one of the best ways of learning the middle game is by learning the opening. If you learn the opening, then you will get the same kind of middle game positions because the pawn structure you set up in the opening will lead to similar positions in the middle game. So you'll get to know them. Experience. How to improve it. Tactics, Jenny is saying, get a good tactics book. I got a tactics book. I think it cost me £5, and I used to read it in the bath. That's how I got good at chess. I got good in the bath. I sat in the bath with my tactics book, solving a couple of tactics a day, and I got much, much better and better at tactics. You can go on chess.com. They have a great tactics trainer there, probably many other sites as well. Anyway, guys and girls, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm doing a stream tomorrow. So if you go to the address I put in earlier, then you can watch me. I'm doing 7 to 9 tomorrow. I'm doing a little lesson then. You can check out my YouTube channel. If you search Ginger GM videos, then you'll find out a lot of my free videos there. And yes, I say free like free, to be free. That's the way I say it. And I don't give a damn. And yeah, if you want to support me, please buy the Ginger GM selection. Go either to my website to buy it. I get more money. Buy it from these guys. I don't mind. Anything that supports would be good. I'll see you all soon. And thank you for tuning in. If you don't buy anything, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I just thank you for watching this lecture and for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And hopefully I'll do more of this in the future. I'm streaming again tomorrow evening. It will be about 50 minutes now. If you search me, it'll be fine. Make a Russian accent. Maybe I can finish with a Russian accent. Well, in my days, it was cold in Moscow. Stalingrad, very painful place. I play chess like a master from Moscow. Thank you and goodbye.